Because of the most beautiful love, I'll always feel like this forever. Because of you.
Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm finally going to be sharing how my IUD went and how I feel about it and everything that's happened to me and how it felt and like all this stuff with you guys. It has been around 2 months or a little bit over 2 months since I got it. And if you hear rattling in the background, that's Ella playing on the bed, and probably during this video I'll have to pick her up because she's gonna get grumpy. But so if you are in my family, like my parents or extended family or something, and you don't want to hear about all of this stuff, like please exit this video because I know a lot of my family watches the videos. So yeah, this is all about birth control and what happened to me and all this stuff. And yes, I did take a pregnancy test. This is not clickbait. I really did take a pregnancy test, and I will explain why and all that happened at the end of this video. So I got my IUD in June, and I think it was in the middle of June or so. It was a week before we left for Destin, so around mid-June, beginning of June. I went back for my 6-week checkup after I had Ella. And I decided that the IUD was going to be the best form of birth control for me. I know everybody has their opinions on birth control, but pills are really just not an option for me. I am not good at taking pills. If you know me at all, I do not take pills, and I hate taking medicine, and it was just not an option. Like, it wouldn't have worked for me. I chose to get the 3-year IUD, the Skyla, and I was so scared to get it put in because a lot of my friends had IUDs, and every one of them said that it hurt when they put it in. I'm gonna grab her really quick. She is so needy all the time. All of my videos, I end up holding you, huh? So I chose a Skyla IUD, and I was so scared to go in to get it put in because a lot of my friends have IUDs, and they told me that it hurts so bad when they put it in. So I was super scared and nervous, and I took like a leave and stuff before I even went in for cramps. I went in, I had to wait a super long time too. Like, all of the anxiety was being dragged out waiting in the office. My nurse that was at the clinic, I got it done at the clinic that I went to whenever I was pregnant with her, and my nurse was actually in the room with me when I had her because I love her and she's the best. So the whole entire time she was inserting the IUD, I was just talking to her and like trying to distract myself, and she was just like, I don't know, helping me be distracted. So I actually, in my experience, I did not feel anything when they put it in. And I looked up a video of like how it works and how they put it in before it happened because I was super curious, and I probably shouldn't have done that because I don't know, it's like, I don't even know how to explain it. If you want to see how an IUD is inserted, like, just go watch it. Also, sorry for all of this lighting change. I am using natural lighting and there's clouds, so it's like going in and out. So whenever she put it in, I didn't feel a thing. I was completely fine. I did bleed some right after she inserted it, so they like gave me a pad to go home in. And this is where things started to get like, I thought that something was wrong with the IUD. I did not stop bleeding. I probably stopped bleeding maybe a week ago, and I've had it for 2.5 months. So I bled for a long time, and a week after I had it inserted, which was when we were in Destin, I had my period. And I'm in one of the videos that we did in the vlogs for Destin, I mentioned that I did have my period, and it was so heavy, and it lasted about a week and a half, and that was a week after I got the IUD. So, and I haven't had a period since. I don't know if that was my period and I haven't had another one because of the IUD, or if that wasn't my period and I still haven't gotten my period back yet from after I had her. I have no idea. When we were in Destin, a week after I had my IUD put in, I was having a lot of trouble walking around. I was having a lot of pressure down there, and like, well, I mean, when I say down there, I mean like in my like pelvic region, I was having a lot of pressure. So I didn't know if everything was okay or not. I couldn't walk for a long period of time. So whenever I came back to Colorado, I decided to go ahead and make an appointment for me to go in. But they told me that I needed to come in anyway for like a 1-month checkup to make sure everything was good. So I went in a month later in July to get it all checked out. I think it was like July 20th or something like that. To get it all checked out to make sure everything was okay. And they did an ultrasound on me because I told her about how much pressure I was having. And everything was in place. I guess my body was just getting used to how it felt. which that was not fun at all. A lot of people say that they had cramps after they got the IUD put in, and I did not have any cramps except for maybe the first and second day. But that's pretty much it. The only real side effect I had was the pressure down there and the bleeding, the continuous bleeding, which every now and then I'll still bleed, which is no fun. But you fake coughing? Oh, she has hiccups. To the part where I took a pregnancy test. About a week ago, I started to have a lot of like temperature changes. This is when like everything kind of leveled out. Like I still haven't had another period since a week after I got it. So in 2 months I haven't had a period. So I started to feel like whenever I felt so hot, like the fan would be blasting on, like I was so hot, and Ben would feel my forehead or something and he said that I was super cold, and I was like, no, like I'm burning up. And so in the back of my head I'm like, that is super weird. Like, am I pregnant? Did this not work? Like, what's going on? And that was just a thought. I was like, that was just in the back of my head, like, oh, just kidding. Like, why would I ever think that? So that went on for a couple days, and I mentioned it to my mom. I was like, I'm having this problem where I'm really hot. Like, it's happening right now. I'm really hot, but I actually feel cold, and I don't know what's going on. And she's like, well, have you had another period since your one that you had in Florida? And I was like, no. And she's like, do you think you're pregnant? I freaked out. I am not pregnant, and I freaked out. And whenever you think you're pregnant, like, you have to take a pregnancy test to make sure you're not pregnant, or else you're just like, in the back of your head you have this question like, am I pregnant? If I am, like, I need to go to the doctor. If I am, I need to get this IUD taken out, or else like this will be really bad. And I kept thinking like, oh my gosh, what if I am? Like, they're gonna be born around the same time, a year apart. If I am, then what's gonna happen? Like, is the pregnancy gonna survive because I have an IUD in? Like, and I was just freaking out. Like, my mom was laughing so hard, and she goes, I was like, Mom, if I am, I'm gonna be so upset. She goes, no, you're not. Like, if this baby is conceived with an IUD, like, obviously this baby is meant to be here. So I ended up buying a pregnancy test. And I took one. I bought it at Walmart, and my mom was with me. She's like, go into the bathroom and just take it now. I'm like, that is so trashy to buy a pregnancy test and then take it in the store that you just bought it at. So I was like, okay, fine. So I went in there, I took it, I waited 2 minutes. It was negative, and I was like, there's 2 in the pack, and I felt relieved. I was like, I kind of knew that I wasn't, because I've had no other symptoms except for temperature changes, which is still hormonal, which still could be related to my IUD or just postpartum. I was like not relieved but not shocked. I was just like, yeah, like it's negative, obviously, like I knew that. And so I ended up taking the second one a couple days later, and it still was negative. I'm not pregnant, thank the Lord. I would probably, like, I know that I would be happy because, I mean, babies are fun, but that would be so hard. Oh my gosh. Like, for example, right here. On that note, Ben and I are still waiting to have a baby. It probably, like, we're not gonna wait 4 years to have a baby, but we're not gonna have the baby next month. So, I mean, it's not extremely far away because we don't want them to be, oh my gosh, this is the reason why I want to get my hair cut. All in all, for the IUD, I really like it. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to take a pill. I don't have to be on a schedule. Like, it's just in there, and you know, that's it. And so finally I've stopped bleeding, and now that I've been waiting to make this video because I didn't want to say, oh, I'm still bleeding, like in the video, and there wasn't like a happy ending to it. So I know some people, it takes like 6 months for your body to get used to it. I think my body is finally used to it. The IUD is very invasive, and it is hard to get used to if you get the hormonal ones. I know there's a copper one and it doesn't have any hormones in it, but I think it's worth it. Like I said, I have the one for 3 years. Definitely don't think I'll be getting it taken out. I don't think we're gonna wait 3 years to have another baby. So I'll definitely be getting it taken out before those 3 years. I would recommend it if you're waiting a long time to have a baby, because there is a 5-year option too. So if you just want to have birth control, not worry about it, and not have a baby for a long time, I would say the IUD is a really, really, really good option. Will I get it after baby number 2? Possibly. I may get the copper one that is non-hormonal. All in all, I really like the IUD now. I didn't like it then, and I didn't know if I made the right decision back then. So if you are thinking about getting an IUD, I would just be prepared for a few things to happen before you actually get used to the IUD in general. Like, it's gonna take a couple months at least for your body to get completely used to having a foreign object in it. So, and I would do your research on it as well. But for me, the IUD works for me, and I really like it now that I'm not having any more side effects. So she's getting hungry. So mom duties are calling. I hope you guys enjoyed this long-awaited video, and make sure to like and subscribe before you leave. And we will see you in our next video with hopefully a happy baby, huh? Okay, bye guys.